Morning, good afternoon, good night for all our global PM officers community. Thank you very much for coming in another session of Reflections PM Officer and Friends 2021. Um, Today I'm very happy. Everybody knows me. You know that I'm happy for sitting with a great professionals, good colleagues of the profession, project management, product management, and PMO and beyond. Okay, because we are talking about um, officers. Okay, uh, project management officers, product management officers, innovation management officers, project support officers, and beyond. So many kind of. But today I'm very happy because we have in this session the present and the future of the project and product management office to Joey Pusz. I hope to saying correctly, PMO leader, global community founder, and advisory council member, among many other things that he's going to explain us and sharing us right now. Joy, thank you very much for coming with us from USA, New York, USA, if I'm right. It's a huge pleasure to stay with us today for sharing your thoughts, your personal point of view, based in your very long experience about project management and PMO professional experience. Thank you, Joey. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Leo. I appreciate it, and so honored to be here today. Coming to you from Phoenix, Arizona, as opposed to New York today. I've got the cactus scene behind me for the desert out here in Phoenix, and I'm really humbled to be here and sharing with your community. For those who aren't familiar with me, I'm president and founder of the PMO Squad, which is a United States-based global consulting firm helping organizations improve in their project delivery and PMO build-outs. As Leo mentioned, I'm also the founder of the PMO Leader, which is a global community site bringing project delivery, agile, waterfall, all the different disciplines of project management and leadership together into one site so that we can truly act as a global community. Also host of Project Management Office Hours, one of the leading project management podcasts and radio shows in the world. So I strongly encourage you to go out to your favorite podcast platform and check out the different guests we've had on there. All in all, I'm just a person who lives, breathes, and sleeps project management, project delivery, and PMOs. It's who I am. It's in my DNA. So for me, this is fun. I enjoy talking about my experiences and how to help make our global PMO community better and learning from all of you as well. So thanks for having me on and look forward to chatting today.
Thank you, Joey. Um, I'm so happy you are staying with us because yes, by the way, the first time I saw you, it was about your PMO podcast in social media, in LinkedIn. Okay, just watching. I'm trying to be updated about everything around project management and PMOs, topics related, and I found you by the about your podcast, no PMO podcast. Um, I'm trying to listen to you in your podcast. That okay in Europe versus you America, no, the is the different time zones. So it's very complicated in both sides to stay in live sessions. Okay, it's
Yeah.
very complicated. So let me share it that part of your idea about the podcast is for this session. So my point is the Reflections PM Officer and Friends 2021 is part of your original idea about the podcast because it's recorded, and you are going to be live Monday, 10th of May, but you are going to be live in the future, no, forever and ever. Oh, for, for global community. So, as you correctly said, we are always keep learning day after day. We can call it many great colleagues as experts. I try never to mention this word expert. I'm trying to mention as a specialist. My point of view, oh, that's my point of view. Okay. Um, when I'm considered a specialist, I'm considered you a specialist because we are keep learning day after day. And my point of view about expert is an expert knows everything. So I don't know everything because today I'm going to learn and one more things, okay? Because you is going to share with us. That's why I'm just considered a specialist in as a young mind to keep learning day after day. So Yui, thank you very much. So let's start with the first question.
Yes.
Okie dokie. So question number one.
Well, yes, of course. That's what we both do. So for me, when we think about different departments within an organization, they're, as you mentioned, they're specialist at what they work on. They could be an HR specialist, they could be a finance specialist, a marketing specialist, manufacturing specialist, etc. So us, regardless of your methodology, you could be agilist, you could be a traditionalist. Our specialty is project delivery. And really, organizations make investments of millions of dollars every year to invest in a project. And what they should do, and most of them do, is put a specialist, put an experienced resource to ensure that they get the return on an investment. Right? The point of the investment is to get the return. Right? It's not just make an investment, you need to get the return out of it. So creating a PMO, and when done properly, gives the organization a team that's dedicated to delivery of return on investment, creating value to ensure that strategy and initiatives produce results for the organization. So yes, I think a PMO is necessary for organizations to build specialists, to drive execution, and to establish a return on investment for all of the money the organization invests. To me, it's no different than if they invested in $1 million into a bond or some sort of secured investment and asked somebody who's never managed an investment before to make the investment for them. Majority of time, they would end up losing money on that investment because the person's not skilled. They don't have a specialty. So what we do is the same thing. We have the experience and the expertise on delivery to provide value back to the organization and ensure we can do that consistently, project and program after project. That's the real value of a PMO and why all organizations should have them, to ensure return on investment of strategic initiatives. Oh, we have you on mute, Leo.
Wonderful, Yui. I cannot be more agree with you, because you are mentioning in only in a couple minutes, you are mentioning the most important thing for an organization: return of investment, strategy, value, delivery. That is the I cannot imagine most important things for an organization that um, are managing, a portfolio or program of projects and products, because it doesn't matter if each organization have or not a PMO, but every organization, it doesn't matter the industry, the private, public, the size, it doesn't matter. Everyone have projects and or products to manage.
That's right.
Everyone.
Yeah. And you can
So
either do that in a coordinated way with specialists, or let it go and see what happens to your investments. And I'd rather do it with a way that I have specialists managing our investment rather than just letting it be done by anybody.
this is a message very clear for people who need to take the decisions as CTO, CIO, or it doesn't matter the role, but it's very important that they can pay attention and listen that people who is really live be passionate about these kind of things, and the most important thing is giving results, because it's very important. Okay, yes, it sounds wonderful, it sounds lovely, everything in theory, but it's very important to give results to the company of the organization. And we can give results in the delivery, yes, first of all. Second, return on investment. But it's very important for people, because if we are working together um, in best practices, in governance, and we are happy to feel comfortable. We are feeling we are part of this great idea, this great execution. We are very happy to be part of this. And a specialist, okay, we are offering more value to the organization, but we are happy to be part of this, leading, but not only one role. We are talking about this later. We are talking because everyone involved should be leaders.
That's right.
Everyone in each role, but everyone should be leaders.
I
So
would agree.
wonderful, wonderful reflection, Joy. Number two, question number two.
That's a great question. And of course, there's different roles within the PMO. You could have coordinators, project and program managers, the PMO leader themselves. But I'll touch on what you just mentioned. Regardless your role, we're all leaders. We've all been in charge of our specific activities. We have to interact with peers and other departments, and we have to drive strategic initiatives. So leadership and understanding what it means to be a leader within your organization is an absolute must for all of the roles within a PMO. I also think business acumen, right? So often we as project delivery specialists think that our primary role is project management or agile delivery. And we have to change that mindset. That's the tools that we use to deliver a business investment. So we have to understand, what is the purpose of our project or our initiative? How does that fit into the overall strategy of the organization? How does it impact the people, the shareholders, and the team members within the organization? And in order to do that, I have to understand our business. I need to be somebody who's knowledgeable on how our business works. How do we receive our customers? How do we produce our goods and services? How do our consumers, our customers, consume those goods and services? As a project delivery specialist, those are the most critical points to me. Certainly, I have to have my technical skills, right, to be able to lead a project and lead a team. And that's what we focus oftentimes our skill set on. When you get your PMP certification or Prince 2 or other certifications from around the world, primarily they focus on the technical skills of a project manager or an agilist. But I think the most important skills to become a truly great project leader, project delivery specialist, are the soft skills. Every project is a collection of people. It doesn't matter if we're in an agile team or if we're in a traditional setting. We bring people together to achieve a common output. And you're the person that's at the front of that team. You're the lead of that team. So you have to understand how to listen, right? Use your ears more than your mouth. Understand how to motivate and influence a team and how to work together and use team building skills to form trust and to learn from one another, to understand it's okay to fail in the short term for long-term success. So for me, when I think about the skills of somebody within the PMO, it's leadership, it's business acumen, and it's people skills. The technical skills we can train anybody on, right? We can train you how to build a schedule. We can train you how to identify critical path. We can train you to build a WBS. It's far more difficult to build a leader who understands business and knows how to communicate and lead a team. To me, those are the top three things I would say we need to focus on.
It's a huge challenge because it's very difficult in situations where technical project managers they don't want to be involved with contact with people. They feel shame. They don't feel comfortable. But they as a specialist, we need them.
Yeah,
We need them.
we have to have them understand that they are leading a team, right? You know, we think of like a sports team, right? There's always a captain of the team, or in the military, there's somebody who's leading the platoon or squad within the team. That's the project manager, right? They're the person that's at the front, that's providing the direction, influencing the team, taking care of the team to ensure their well-being is being met. And just as important, because the business component, right? Are we delivering the value back on the investment that we've been entrusted by the organization to deliver? So you have to understand that leadership, you have to understand the business component, and you have to be able to lead a team.
Absolutely, I cannot be more agree. Thank you. A fantastic reflection. So it's very related. The question number 3.
That's a great question. And when we think about our industry, and we've done some research on this, I'm the managing director of the PMO Global Survey with the PMO Global Alliance. And we've done a global survey on this where we look at first-time PMO leaders. Where do they come from? And what we found is it's around 80% of them are promoted from being a project or program manager. So what we're doing is we're promoting our best project managers into the role of PMO leader, whatever the title is, manager, director, vice president. But we haven't given them leadership training skills. And they end up running their department, their function, as if they're running a project. So we haven't prepared these leaders the way we need to. So when you ask, how do we define that role? For me, it's no different than a chief financial officer or a chief operating officer, right? The role is the leader over the function. The function is project delivery, and we have a team of specialists that's in there helping them deliver. We don't need another project manager to be that specialist. What we need is a leader to be leading a function. So they have to understand how to work with budgets, how to, not just a project budget, but a department budget, how to be able to align with strategy, how to interact with other leaders of other departments. That's the business acumen component that we had talked about. How to be able to use politics to negotiate for support for their team to ensure they get the right training and tools that they need. The leader of the project function has to understand that they're leading a broader department, a broader function within the organization, and treat it that way. They need to get their own skills, whether they're a former project manager or a former scrum master, whatever it may be. They have to think now broader than just delivery of a single project. How do I enable the organization to deliver? So for me, it's an elevated role. It's as an important role within the organization that has to be able to blend with the other leaders within the organization.
elevator level. When I speak with many other colleagues as PMP, okay, PMI certification as current leaders, as current project directors, or very similar roles. I sharing with them that yeah, it is very different to lead a couple, or maybe 5 or maybe 10 projects at the same time that you are leading 100 or 1,000.
Yeah.
Wow, it's totally different. So we need all that you are correctly mentioned. I'm fully agree with you about the soft skills, the hard skills, but to elevate the level, no, a strategic point of view to improve our team, obviously 306-degree point of view,
Mm-hmm.
and so many other things at the same time. Wonderful, Yui, wonderful. Oof. Okay, okie dokie. So, question number 4.
Yeah, I think some of the challenges PMOs have had around the world is that the organization doesn't know where to put us. So, not knowing where to put us, they put us where the most projects happen. Traditionally, they'll put us into an IT department and have us report into a CIO. And I think that's a mistake. I personally believe that the most effective PMOs should be at the enterprise level, an EPMO. They should be led by a chief project officer that is on par with all the other C-suite executives. So a chief financial officer, a chief human resource officer, a chief sales officer. We should be a chief project officer who's reporting into the CEO of the organization. And the reason I believe that is, again, we're executing organizational strategy. We're not executing IT projects. Even projects that are in the IT department or have a technical component to a business project, right? Implementing a CRM system is not a technology project, right? It's a solution to be able to improve our sales and marketing capabilities. Technology is just the tool we're using to do that. So when we lay out organizational strategy, when we make an investment into a project portfolio, we should have an executive that's managing that to ensure that we're delivering that return on investment for the organization. The challenge we've had with this is that we don't have any disciplines out there, any PMI, as you mentioned, right, is a big organization, of course, globally, but they're focused on the individual. They're not focused on preparing the executive to run a project delivery department. So slowly we're starting to see organizations pop up with certifications and training to become a leader of this team. I think the more we get mature in the space of the project management office, the continued maturity will elevate us within the organization. So I think ultimately it's a C-suite position that should be reporting into the CEO.
Wonderful reflection. Hoping that the steering committee's roles of top management roles are listening and staying with us, listening to this reflection because it's very important for them. Um, More specifically, with this organization that currently are thinking to implement or not a PMO. And this kind of information, this kind of reflection is very important for them for the final decisions. They are going to take the best decision maker, but it's very important to have all the complete vision and many other opinions around the scene. Wonderful, Joey. Question number 5.
The global pandemic certainly has shown us all how fragile we are, but it also quickly demonstrated how delivery continues even when organizations and individuals are thrust into uncertain situations, right? And there's millions of people dying around the world because of this, right? It's not just that the organizations are forcing us to work from home. We're losing our colleagues. We're losing our parents, our husbands, wives, brothers, sisters, and family members. So how do I maintain my composure and standing within the organization when I'm surrounded by all of this? It's a challenging situation for everybody, of course, but this is where, again, as a PMO leader that's focused on investment return, right? Organizations have to be able to make changes to adjust to the business climate. When pandemic hit, the way we operated as an organization had to change, right? Security, remote working, access to tools became first and foremost paramount so employees could work from home. A PMO has to be in a support position to be able to adjust instantly, to be able to react to those decisions, right? We have to be nimble. We can't be stuck in a rigid process that doesn't allow us to be flexible based on the fragility of the situation we're in. So PMOs to me are the perfect situation. A manufacturing line that's in place, perhaps you're a manufacturing organization, you can't change that manufacturing line, right? The machines are bolted into the ground. You have to stay on that path. But your investments still need to have a return on them. So how do we do that? A PMO has to establish a methodology, a framework, a process, and a talent pool that can quickly react to the changing business needs to ensure our investments are still made, because the company needs that return on investment to stay healthy, right? All of the dollars invested didn't stop, right? Those investments were made. So we as a PMO have to ensure that we're setting up the organization to deliver on the new objectives based on the fragile world we live in. Just as the pandemic hit us and we were forced to change, the pandemic is going to start to slow, and eventually it's going to become an item in the past. We have to adjust once again, right? We have to be able to adjust back to what the new normal will be. It's not going to be what it was before the pandemic. It's going to be something new. So as a PMO leader, we have to say, okay, what is the company going to invest in now? Maybe not so much building and real estate investment, because we found out we can work successfully from home. So how do we support a remote team? How do we build a strategy to be able to support our customers who may be remote as well? So as the world changes and evolves, a PMO leader, PMO officer, a PMO director, whatever the role, has to build a team, a framework, an execution model that is flexible and adjustable to meet the demands of the investments that businesses are making.
Well done for my friend. I do not agree. I don't. Yes, as your owner, there is no more questions.
That's right.
No, I love it. Your point of view. I'm full agree. There is a huge challenge because is everybody together. We need to do that. It's not only top management. It's not only the PMO officer or this role. Um, we we need to try and execute on the final stage with success all together. It's very complicated, but we need to do it. We need to try it. We I do believe at the final we'll get it. We will find that.
Yeah,
I believe
I
it.
do too. Yeah.
I'm really having a very good time, my friend. Yeah, enjoy it. Really, it's very quickly. As you can see, your time, your watch is wow, very fast. We are at the end of the of this wonderful talk with the final reflection.
Yeah, I think we are in a new world for the PMOs. Um, the past couple of decades, organizations and associations have really focused on the individual, right? PMP certification, Prince2 certification, Scrum Master certification. And we as an industry, did not focus on the organization, the PMO as a whole. You can see today there is now a shift happening. We're not forgetting the individual. All of those trainings and certifications still exist. But we're starting to see new organizations and associations to prepare the PMO for success. So my advice to those organizations is invest in PMOs to become successful. So what does that mean? You need to invest in your PMO leader, get them the leadership training that they need. If we look at whether it's Forrester or PMI or whoever it may be, all the research from the past decade, projects fail between 50 and 70% of the time. So as an industry, we haven't delivered, right? We have not been providing the value that we need to because we focused on the individual, not on the function, not on the team, not on the department. When we start focusing on the leader of a team, if we bring a collection of individuals together without leadership and ask them to perform, they're going to perform at about a 30 to 50% success rate. That's what the data has shown us. Now, when we start to train leaders over those individuals, we can elevate the performance of the individual because we have a team. And again, we see this in sports all over the place, where professional sports, you can get talented people and they fire a coach, they bring in the new coach, and all of a sudden the team performs better because the experienced, talented coach can improve the performance of the team. So organizations out there like the PMO squad or PMOfficers that are helping PMO leaders truly become true leaders, right? And the skill set to lead a team to success, to drive value for the organization on their investments. So I'm not saying stop investing in people. What I'm saying is my advice to organizations is start investing in the function. Get the tools you need to be an effective PMO, not just an effective project manager, an effective team. Train your leaders to be leaders. Don't expect them to be project managers in a leadership role. Expect them to be leaders over a project management role. So the advice is you're willing to invest in your marketing, into your manufacturing, into your products and your services, but then you don't invest in the leadership to deliver on those things. So it's invest the time, the money, the resources to upskill leadership within your project delivery function. That will pay off big time for organizations out there.
We hope so. We hope so, really, because many organizations, they don't take on count these kind of things. Maybe they are expecting that people arrive to the organizations if they are hired for the first time with everything ready, with all the solutions, with the formula as magician. Yeah, okay, yes, this is the formula, this is the abracadabra, everything is resolved. No, it's more complex than that, only expecting the fast and quickly solutions and or in a package solution that you are open the box and voila, you have all the solutions, just implementing, copy paste, and that's it. No, I don't think so. And from my point of view, it's a bad or a wrong point of view of the majority of organizations around the globe.
Yeah. And you know, I'm a perfect case study. I was a good project manager, delivered on my projects. I got promoted to PMO leader. In my first PMO, I failed miserably. I was a horrible PMO leader, and I didn't receive training to become a leader. So I tried to run the PMO based on my training as a program leader. Once I received leadership training, I was able to successfully understand how to lead the team better. So we train other leaders in our organizations. We have to invest to train the leaders of our project delivery team as well.
It's a different change of mind
Yeah.
because you realize that there is so many other things that you missed in the past, and you now you can share and implement, not only by yourself, is with the rest of the team, with the rest of the members, with the rest of the organizations, with the rest of customers, internal and external. Because in a PMO we are in contact day after day within the organization, but outside the organization as well. And nowadays in a global environment, we are talking with all around the globe. It's not only our industry, it's not only in our city, in our country, in our language. No, 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 no. We are talking so many variables in the formula. We need to take in account. In a leader, always take in count of these kind of things. That's why we needed everything you have currently mentioned. I'm fully agree with you, my friend. And well, we are trying to do that, no? From
Yeah.
PMO leader as the website, as the global community, no? Sharing contents and sharing many other things from our side, our very piece, no? In our side from PMOfficers to global community. Joyful global PMO leader, global community, founder and advisory council member, among many other things, as you initially mentioned it. Uh, Thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for joining us, for sharing your thoughts, wonderful thoughts. Hey, by the way, for our audience, we never talked about this before. Huh? This is a fresh talk
Yeah.
between colleagues. Huh? No, we never prepared about this. Just we are sharing because we need to be fresh. Yes, we trying to prepare the best as we can, but it's in a fresh model just for a mention. Okay, my friend.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Reflections, PM Officer and Friends 2021, Monday, 10th of May and beyond. We are going to listen Yui Pusz, PMO leader, global community founder and advisory council member from Phoenix, Arizona, USA. Okay, yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Yes. Thank you, Leo. It was great to chat with you. It's always fun and exciting to work with you, and can't wait to look forward to what we're going to be doing with the PMO leader, and of course everything you're doing with PMO officers as well.
Okay, well, we are so many things to do in the near future and beyond because this we are very passionate guys about these kind of topics, PMO and many other and beyond. No, as I'm trying to say, Yui, thank you very much from Barcelona, España.
Yes.
Okay, un abrazo grande. Okay, for you, and thank you very much for coming, and we stay in touch for the next the next things that we are going to share in the near future together with PMO leader and PMOfficers.